This is a Construction Tales brief safety topic. In this video, I'm going to discuss the history of power tools and how they became the sophisticated tradesperson's assistant of today. I have learned that the current global market for power tools is a $33 billion US dollar industry. Let's take a look back to see how power tools were born and evolved. Technically, the first power tool that was invented and was created by the ancient Egyptians. This power tool is known as a lathe. The lathe was designed in order to help humans cut shapes in wood. Apparently, this ancient tool has been classed as a power tool. However, the lathe didn't actually have either electric or battery power. In order to operate this tool, one person turned it while the other utilized the lathe. Despite being a two-man tool, operating an early lathe still required a lot of effort. According to my research, the first ever electric drill in the entire globe was invented back in 1889 by Arthur James Arnott. Mr. Arnott was a Scottish electrical engineer and inventor who was born in Hamilton, Scotland. Mr. Arnott attended the West of Scotland Technical College out of Glasgow, Scotland. Upon completing his education, Mr. Arnott moved to London to gain experience within electrical engineering under the leadership of Sebastian Ziani de Ferranti. This engineering duo began working on high-voltage alternating current transmission work. Roughly around the same time period, Thomas Edison was involved with high-voltage direct current transmission work. After this crucial work experience, Mr. Arnott got the opportunity to work in Melbourne, Australia, in order to assist with building a Union Electric Company power plant. While he started working in Australia, he also worked on creating and even patented his electric drill by 1889. This drill was intended for miners to cut through rock. The German power tool company C&E Fine was born back in 1867. C&E Fine was launched as a workshop for electrical and mechanical apparatus by Wilhelm Emil Fine. By 1895, C&E Fine combined the power of an electric motor with a manual drill to develop their version of the early power tool. This very heavy drill, that clocked in at a hefty 16.5 pounds, was powered by a large but relatively weak DC electric motor. In all actuality, this first drill didn't turn very fast at all. In order to even use the drill, the operator had to use both hands, grab it by both handles that were placed opposite of the motor, lean against a chest plate at the back of the drill, and help press it into the work surface. The world's first power tool appeared to be cumbersome and unproductive by modern standards. By 1908, C&E Fine became a specialized factory for power tools. Initial efforts from the company focused on quickly improving the drill by making it even more powerful and lightweight. The next power tool to follow was the portable sanding machine. The C&E Fine tool that was developed next was the pneumatic hammer drill in 1914. This hammer drill technology was created with an air-cushioned striking mechanism. By 1927, the woodworking industry benefited from the release of an electric handsaw. The automotive and aircraft industries also benefited from the development of the jigsaw back in 1933. The birth of another power tool company, known globally as Black & Decker, has a rather unique and interesting story. Business partner S. Dunkin Black sold a car back in 1910 and used the car proceeds in order to start a small machine shop. He teamed up with his friend Alonso Decker and launched their business in Baltimore, Maryland. In 1914, Black & Decker both came up with some great ideas and used them to improve the C&E Fine power drill. By 1914, Black & Decker infused the design of the Colt 45 automatic pistol into their own improved version of the power drill. By 1916, Black & Decker began making their famous pistol grip trigger switch electric drill. Remarkably, all modern handheld electric drills are descended from this evolved design. The big advantage to the Black & Decker design is that it can be operated by one person versus two people for the C&E Fine original power drill. An interesting fact that I learned is that Black & Decker was hired by NASA to design tools for various space missions. This relationship pushed Black & Decker to create quite a few innovative power tools for space missions. These tools underwent rigorous testing, such as anti-gravity, along with extreme temperature and atmospheric testing to qualify for important missions. These Black & Decker power tools were tested underwater at major depths. Other tests involved bringing power tools to high altitudes, followed by sharp nose dives in order to simulate anti-gravity conditions that occur in space. A cordless rotary hammer drill was created specifically for the Apollo moon program. Astronauts needed the drill to extract moon rock samples. On the Gemini project, a zero-impact wrench was required that spun bolts in zero gravity without impacting the astronaut operating the wrench. Surprisingly enough, the introduction of various Black & Decker cordless power tools happened before the company's contract with NASA. Black & Decker needed to be high-tech prior to developing a relationship with NASA. The introduction of the first cordless screw gun was unveiled back in 1961. Black & Decker even crafts various types of medical instruments and even the small cordless vacuum cleaner that's known as a dust buster. Obviously, the invention of various electrical supply systems were required prior to introducing power tools. It wasn't that long ago when humans relied heavily on oil lamps and fire for basic human consumption such as heat and home cooking. I was previously led to believe that the famous innovator Thomas Edison was the man, myth, and legend who invented the incandescent electric lamp back in 1879. However, I learned that he merely perfected this powerful piece of technology. In actual reality, the first incandescent bulb was born back in 1761. Mr. Edison was known to be really good at perfecting existing ideas. Rumor has it, in a single day back in 1888, he wrote down 112 ideas. Mr. Edison is credited with patenting a newly evolved product roughly every 11 days. Here are some of the inventions that belong to Mr. Edison's long-lasting legacy: the phonograph, the kinetoscope, the dictating machine, the alkaline battery, the electric meter, a sap extractor, a talking doll, and the world's largest rock crusher, an electric pen, a fruit preserver, and even a tornado-proof house. Even if you grab the inventions that were initially crafted by others, it is indeed an art to re-engineer important technology that's within its infancy. Much of this early technology are things that the average person takes for granted today. His ability to be photographed during the era with very limited marketing with the light bulb is what gave the public the same general impression. Thomas Edison was a household name since he had his name on many household appliances. Let's not forget the important contributions of Serbian-born Nikola Tesla. The electrical panel system in the average American home is an alternating current system, or known as AC for short. You can thank Tesla for that major contribution. Additionally, Tesla developed the ability to transmit power over power lines for long distances. The contributions of engineer Thomas E. Murray made the possibility of the New York City power grid even possible. Mr. Murray was involved in developing the modern safe delivery method of electricity from the electrical grid to the average modern building and important infrastructure throughout the United States. Another major contribution from Mr. Murray was the development of the electric fuse back in 1909. The average human doesn't fully understand the impact of being able to safely harness electricity to where we can coexist with limited major complications. Mishandling electricity for the average mere mortal could result in either severe disfiguration or death. The discovery of electromagnetic induction happened courtesy of British physicist Michael Faraday back in the 1830s. This discovery aids in harnessing electricity as a force that can be controlled to improve productivity. There are laws that are observed that aided in learning how to safely harness electricity. One of the main principles of electrical theory, known as Ohm's law, was created by German physicist George Ohm back in 1827. Ohm's law states that the current flow through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference, also known as voltage, and inversely proportional to the resistance. The physical unit of resistance in electricity, known as an ohm, was named after the accomplished physicist. Of course, there are many more contributors when speaking on the history of electricity and electric power tools. My goal is to break down these other contributors and topics into manageable, bite-sized videos in order to offer a basic understanding that I will share in future videos. In my next video on power tools, we will review common power tool components. Well, my friend, this wraps up what I have for now on the history of power tools and major innovations in electricity that led to the discovery of the electric motor and then eventually the first electric power tool. This concludes this Construction Tales safety topic. Come back for more topics soon.